even in the world, the sweet relationship is that with the Father, and the sweetest relationship is with the teacher. Okay, and Baba says, I am your father and teacher, all in one. But I was just thinking about, this relationship with the Father. Now you see, there's this child and his parents are living separate, and it's not like they have gone for divorce or anything, but they're just living separate. And this child is living with the mother, and I was having a conversation with the child's grandmother, and she said that, when this child, whenever you see this child, he will keep saying, I want to go to Papa, I want to talk to Papa. Now you see, it's not like he doesn't talk, and it's not like he doesn't have, it's not like anything is missing in his life. He has grandparents, like the mother's parents are there. They take very good care of the child. The mother loves the child. He's getting the best of food, best of education, even a good environment, because the mother's parents are good people, it's a nice, conducive environment. But still the child would keep saying, I want to go to my father, and I want to talk to my father, and why don't we live with my father? And the mother was one day asking me, I'm giving him everything, and I'm not leaving any stone unturned. It's not like I'm doing anything which I could do and I'm not doing. But still he keeps remembering his father. Why? So I said, there's no reason why a child misses the father. So she said, but I'm giving him everything he needs, then why? So I said, there's no why. You need, the child looks for his father. And then she said, will he be traumatized if he doesn't have his father around? So I said, yes. So she said, but why? I'm giving him everything. So she kept saying, why will my child be traumatized if he doesn't have the father around? What is the reason? But you see, it's like that. A child yearns for the father and the mother too. It's not like if the mother is not around, the child won't yearn. So basically it's about parents. So children yearn for the parents. Yes, and if you're a parent, then the child will look out for you. So Baba says this is why in the Lokik world also, when we talk of sweet relationships, although these days we talk about dysfunctional families and how not only the absence of parents traumatizes children, but even the presence of parents traumatizes children sometimes. So everything, all of that notwithstanding, it's generally, it is like parents are a sweet relationship to the child. And then Baba says the sweetest is the teacher, because the teacher makes you earn the source of income. So the teacher gives you the knowledge, which is the source of income. So in the world also, the teacher and the parent are important. And I remember that I had never met anybody who had never gone to school. So I had not seen anybody who had had no education. And then some years back, I had somebody, and that person had come for the course. And then I realized, you see, there are so many things which we know and take for granted because teachers have taught you. Yes, so sometimes we don't even thank our teachers in the school, right? So right from nursery to whatever education we have, so we are taught so many things which we sometimes don't even appreciate, but those things matter. And when I saw this person who had never been to school or anything, and I could see that there are many things which we know naturally and he doesn't. And then I had to be very conscious and give the course in a manner he understands. So why I'm sharing this is because, you see, the role of the teacher is also very important. And Baba says that I am your supreme father and supreme teacher, or spiritual father and spiritual teacher. So Baba says that you are a soul plus a body. So when we come for the course, we understand that human being means humus plus being. Yes, Jivatma means Jeev plus Atma. So that is the first chapter we learn. So you may appear like one in front of the mirror, but you are the soul plus the body standing in front of the mirror. And Baba says that the first thing that we learn from Baba is I am a soul plus a body, and the father, mother, teacher that I have always had are parents and teachers of the body. But I have been separated from the father and teacher of the soul for very long. And that is why, you see, we don't even have a spiritual identity. So you see, when you get a father, you get a physical identity, don't you? So the father's caste, the father's religion, the father's physical body also. So parents' bodies, caste, religion, they become your caste, religion and identity. So Baba says that when you, the soul, don't have me, then you don't even know your spiritual identity. You've heard this word soul, but you don't know I'm a soul, you don't know. So when you talk about identity, there are 6 things about anybody's identity that we know. So it's the name, the form, the address, the qualities, the relationships and the occupation. Yes, so we don't know all of this about the soul. So until the Father comes, we don't have a spiritual identity. We don't know our name, our form, we don't know our address, and that's why, the mind keeps wandering, because it has nowhere to go. So no address, no home for the soul. We don't know our qualities. So what am I, the soul, like? We don't know. We don't know our occupation. Why are we here? Why are we here, by the way? What's the occupation of the soul? So, this is a very big question people keep asking in the world. Purpose of life, purpose of life. So, what is the purpose of life, or what is the occupation of the soul? So, the occupation of the soul is the occupation of the Father. So, what is Baba's occupation? Baba is the benefactor of the world, Vishwa Kalyankari. So, what is the occupation of the soul? Vishwa Kalyan. Yes, so benefiting the world, that's our occupation. But we don't know all of that until Baba comes. And relationships also we don't know. So we don't know that I, the soul, have all relationships with Baba. And the relationships that I thought are relationships are actually relationships of the body, right? And how can relationships of the body fulfill the needs of the soul? So you thought that, these are relationships of the body and they will give me what I need. But the truth is that I am a soul and the relationships of the body cannot give me what I need. So the one I have all relationships with is Shiv Baba, and Shiv Baba gives what the soul needs. Yes, so I have conducted sessions where when I ask people that can you get over the idea that relationships are for giving what you need? So everybody, when you ask them why do you have relationships, they will tell you to get what you need, right? So everybody says that they should give us what we need. And when you tell them that relationships are not for giving what you need, then they are aghast, they don't like it. Because the truth is, yes, relationships are there for giving what you need. But the truth is, you are a soul, and what you need cannot be given by physical relationships. And this is why you see that when Baba comes, he keeps showering on us what we need. Yes, we don't even have to ask. So that is the truth of a relationship. A relationship gives you what you need. But the thing is, you are a soul, you don't know that. And your relationships are with Baba, you don't know that. That's why you keep thinking that physical relationships will give you what you need. But the needs are that of the soul, the needs are not physical. So physical needs, physical relationships give, right? Yes, your father will buy a laptop or provide food on the table or send you to school. So all those things the physical father does, or the physical relationships are doing. And you see that even when I've seen that, even when relationships get very bitter between husband and wives, the wife will still cook and give, and the husband will still earn and buy stuff. So so relationships, you see, physical relationships are fulfilling their physical commitment. But when we talk about emotional or spiritual, or the need of love, or the need for happiness, or the need for peace, and we start thinking that people around us will give that to us, so Baba says that's not possible, because you are a soul and these needs are that of the soul, and the spiritual father can only fulfill it. So when Baba comes, so we didn't have our spiritual identity, and we start understanding all of this. And do you understand that the life of an orphan is very different from the life of somebody who's raised by parents? And in the world, everybody, every soul is a spiritual orphan. Yes, and now Baba adopts us and he extends that love and relationship to us. He gives us what the spiritual parent can offer. And most of the people in the world, they don't have that. So Baba gives us a sense of identity. Baba gives us the love and peace and joy that we need. And Baba tells us of our home and Baba tells us of our qualities which we were not aware. So do you know that if the I remember, that there was this one brother, and he was 17 years of age, and he was doing business. And I told him, so you're only 17, how can you run a business at 17? And then he said, we are baniyas, we are born businessmen. So you see, so you see that his father is into business and his grandfather was into business. So ever since he's born, he thinks that, this is something that I am completely capable of, because that's owing to, your physical identity. You think you are a baniya, so you can do business. So Baba also says that when you come to know that you are the child of the ocean of love, ocean of peace, ocean of joy, then you understand that purity, peace, love, joy is not difficult for you. That's who you are, that's your identity. That's something that comes naturally to you. So Baba says that until you know me, there's a big part of you which stays. So you are only, only your physical existence. You know nothing about spiritual qualities or spiritual strengths. You don't know about your identity as a soul. You don't know about your form as a soul. So when you look at your physical face, yes, you feel something. Similarly, when you know your face as a sparkling star, there's something that you realize and know which is very different from your physical face. So Baba says, I give you all of these things and I am your father. Yes, so, and Baba says that even in Lokik relationships, father appears so sweet, and here you get the Parlokik father. So you have a very sweet experience with this sweet father. So do you realize that? So do you understand that until you see an orphan, you don't appreciate having parents? Yes, so because everything has to be thought about in order to appreciate it. Similarly, Baba says you have to think about this fact that you have a father who is giving you the joy of relationships. He's filling you with the strength of knowing who you are. So people say, you don't know who am I. So we know who we are. So Baba says, I'm giving you this much, and then people are very fixated with the father's inheritance. So if somebody's father is rich, you can see the carefree nature of the child. So they always feel that my life is settled. So they have that carefree nature. And I remember there was this one girl, and she would just be very casual about everything, and she wouldn't mind leaving a rented place in the middle of the month and taking another place on rent, and she wouldn't mind buying bottles of Bisleri just like that and using it for even washing clothes. And it was this kind of a thing. And every time her roommate, she used to point out that this is not right and this is wastage, then she would just say, why don't you relax a little? I don't know why you're always so tensed and always so uptight. And then they used to come together to the center, and one day they had a fight in the center itself and before me. So then I asked, what is it that causes this fight? So the other girl, she said, her father is rich, my father is not rich. So I can see things which she can't. So that's the basic difference. So you see that in case of a rich father also such differences arise. And here Baba says that you know that you are the child of God the Father, and you have your inheritance of 21 births certainly waiting for you. So why do you worry? So can we children of Shiv Baba worry? No. But when does a child not worry if the father is rich? When you have a good relationship with the father. Do you understand that? So when you have a good relationship with the father, then you know that the inheritance is mine. Because these days, there is this one brother, he used to tell me that he never went to office. So his father has this big company and he never went to office with his father. So what the father did is he hired a fellow and he started training that fellow and he made him the MD of the company. So he did not give anything to his son. He made that employee the MD of the company. And then this person, he started worrying, and then he started getting up and going to office. And at that time he started coming to the center and telling me how bad his father is. And then I told, I don't know, I have not met his father, but from what you tell me, he appears wise to me. So you see that if you have a good relationship with the father, you're sure about the inheritance. Similarly, Baba says that your 21 births are sorted. You don't have to worry about them. But the only condition is, do you follow my Shrimat? Do you have a good relationship with me? How do you have a good relationship with Baba? Not by buttering him, not by singing praises for him, yes, not by, so Baba and Baba's children, there's something very beautiful about them. So Baba also differentiates between hollow regard and true regard, and Baba calls it Langda Man. I don't know, have you heard it in Hindi, Murli? So Baba says, I don't want your Langda Man. Langda Man means hollow regard, lame regard. I don't want that from you. I want true regard from you. What is Langda Man? That you keep appreciating Baba, keep singing hymns and praises of Baba, keep saying, Baba, you're the greatest, but you don't do as he says. Yes, you don't follow his directions. You don't follow his Shrimat. Then what is that? That is false regard, hollow regard. And similarly, in the center also I have seen that there are many children, sometimes they will just try to appreciate you or tell you that you're very nice. But who earns blessings? Those who really follow Shrimat. And I have seen children who are very quiet. They don't talk much. They don't even know how to appreciate somebody. But they follow Shrimat. Whatever Shrimat is given for remembrance, for seva, for class, they will follow that. And those children are very dear to us also, to the instruments also. So Baba says, similarly, I am also, I don't want relationship with me happens only when you follow Shrimat. And Baba says that when you are a soul who follows Shrimat, you are very carefree, because you know that 21 births, my 21 births are secure. Nothing can go wrong for 21 births. You have that kind of faith. So Baba says, I am your sweet father. And although, in the Lokik world also father is sweet, but I am the most sweet because I give you all these fatherly attributes I have, which may or may not be present in the Lokik father these days. And then Baba says the teacher is sweet because the teacher gives you knowledge, which is the source of income. Yes. And here Baba says, I give you the knowledge which will sustain you for 21 births. So, do you understand that what is the difference between Satyug and Kalyug? So, you see, people have health these days also. Yes, there are some people who are healthy. There are some people who live long. In Satyug also people will have health. But what is the difference? The difference is here people have to work for health. You cannot be healthy just like that. In this day and age, nothing is free. Yes, you want to be healthy, you got to exercise, you got to do yoga, you got to do something. You want to be peaceful in the mind, the mental health, you have to meditate. You have to do Raj Yoga. But in Satyug, you will have peace of mind without doing anything. Yes, here you want to be wealthy, you have to leave everything, just run after wealth. These days, what are people doing? So, have you seen wealthy people giving motivational lectures? What they tell you in their motivational lectures is, forget sleep, food, drink, just work, 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 then you'll get wealthy. Yes, so people who sacrifice everything for wealth, they have wealth here. But in Satyug, you will have wealth just like that. You don't have to go to office. You don't have to earn. And relationships, these days relationships are a constant effort. You don't talk to someone for 2 days, they start getting ideas, bizarre ideas. And then you have to spend 2 days convincing them that what they are thinking is not right. So these days relationships also need a lot of work. And I always say that these days relationships have nothing to do with the heart. They have got to do everything with the brain. So, if you're very intelligent, you can have good relationships with the world, because you have to understand people's psychology and have relationships, right? Because if somebody is very weak, you can only have a good relationship with them by being very intelligently compassionate. Yes, so, and if somebody is very strong, then you can only have a good relationship by supporting them. You can be a support to them, and that would make a good relationship. So these days relationships are are a subject of intelligence. But in Satyug, you don't have to work so much, knack your brain of how to go about in relationships. You will have sweet, harmonious relationships anyway. So Baba says that I give you the knowledge now which will ensure that you have the happiness of health, wealth, relationships and peace, all through 21 births. Can you have that kind of income here, which will ensure that you can have health, wealth, happiness and relationships, good relationships all at once? We don't have that kind of income. And Baba says that you just pay attention to this study and to this income. How do you earn income in Sangam Yuga? By 2 things, remembrance and seva. Remembrance and seva makes you earn income. And how do you remember and how do you do seva? When you imbibe knowledge. So remembering Baba is also based on how knowledgeful you are, how powerful you are based on knowledge. And doing seva is also a subject of being knowledgeful, loveful, and powerful. So Baba says, this is why I am giving you the knowledge which helps you earn an income which will last for 21 births. So I am the sweetest teacher. Yes, so we found the sweetest Baba, sweetest teacher, but do we appreciate Baba the Father, Baba the teacher, and do we surrender to Baba the Father, the teacher, is a question we need to ask, because in the world people don't have such a father and teacher. And of course we also should attempt that we introduce such sweet Baba and sweetest teacher to every child. Now in the blessing today, Baba is saying that when you say Baba from the heart in the midst of any situation, even if the situation is, big like a mountain, then that mountain will turn into soft cotton. But how can you say Baba from the heart in the midst of a situation? How many of you are able to remember Baba from the heart? There's a difference between calling out to Baba like a prayer and remembering Baba from the heart. So when there's a big situation, do you call out to Baba like you pray to someone? Or do you remember Baba from the heart? Or is your heart consumed by the situation? So are you able to remember Baba with all your heart in the midst of a situation? How many of you are able to do that? The biggest of situation, and you can just remember Baba with all your heart. Now let me give you an example. There's this brother and he was riding his bike and he got hit by a car. And he was, lying flat on the road like he was, that was an accident. And then the first thing he thought was, do I remember Baba? He was not thinking about how much he's hurt or how much, and then he said, I checked two things. Do I remember Baba? And do I remember today's blessing? Today's Vardhan, do I remember? And do I remember Baba? And do you know, then when he remembered Baba, he realized he had fallen down in front of a hospital. There was just a hospital, like it was just the entrance of the hospital. And then he called the center and, Bhai went. And then he was taken to the hospital. And then the person who had hit, he paid everything. So there was no cost also. And then he got healed in 2 days also. But the thing is, you see that all this happened, but why did this become a memory which could be shared in the class? Because he remembered Baba. Yes, otherwise you would remember all the bitter aspects of it. How your back hurt for some more time, or how you were lying there and you felt very alone and, very forsaken at that time. But because that brother remembered Baba, that's why it became a memorable experience for him. And Baba says that when you are able to have this step of courage, only when you have this love for Baba. So, even when people are dying, they remember their children and spouse. Yes, why? Because there's that love deep in the heart. So Baba says, when you have that love for me, you will remember me even in the most difficult of situations. And when you remember me with love, then I will give you the solution also. I'll give you the touching and the solution also. And many people will say it was such a big situation, it was something insurmountable, it was very difficult to cross, but you will have the touching of how to, overcome that situation in a second. So the first person you call will pick your call. The first person you approach will give you the help you need. All of these things will happen. But Baba says, just know that you have to remember me from the heart, not like calling out to me like a prayer. Okay? Om Shanti.